Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. You guys know what time it is. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And for those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click like down below. Help keep those likes higher than the dislikes. Only you can do that. There are going to be hundreds of angry militant vegans in here. If for no other reason, because I am calling out one of their heroes and, of course, my shirt. You guys read that? Remember, every year thousands of innocent plants are murdered by vegetarians. Help end the violence. Eat bacon. Over to the point. Everyone is sending me this stuff. I realized that Richard must have made a video on this when I saw dozens of vegans come through on my other Patrik videos saying, oh, you have to address this. Brian Shaw is scared running. Okay, first of all, guys, Brian Shaw does not have to address Patrik at all. He doesn't have to. Everyone's saying, oh, he can beat him on the squat. By what metric? Brian Shaw has a documented 420 kilo squat on camera. Now, it's not raw. It's got reps and stuff. 420. Okay. Everyone's claiming Patrik has a 370. That's 50 kilos difference. For Americans, 50 kilos is over 100 pounds. It is over 100 pounds difference. In what world does anyone think that you're going to beat someone at squatting who squats 100 pounds more than you? Okay, what sort of delusional thinking is this? And I think a couple things that people need to look at. Richard was already trying to say that, well, Patrik's depth looked fine. No, Patrik is a ultra high squatter. I have not seen one squat that he's done on camera that was not at least 5 inches above parallel. I am saying that as a certified meat judge. Yes, we don't normally always judge from those angles, but they are obviously high. Those squats are higher than giraffe pussy. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it being objective. Okay, because I have to be objective with my own clients. I have over a dozen clients right now who all squat. Do you think I would let them get away with that? No. No, we don't. Those squats are all a minimum of 5 inches above parallel. Not right at, not just a little high, at least 5. Minimum. Here, I'll flip in for you guys me doing a squat earlier this week. Come on, Jason, come on. Come on, we got this. Lock it. Ooh. Hell yeah. Okay, that was 522 plus chains. That's a proper depth squat. Okay, that squat is to depth. Patrik's squats are ultra high. How much is he getting out of the higher squat? 50 pounds, 100 pounds? I don't know. He's getting a lot out of it. Those are not to depth. Then we have the other issue of his squats themselves that are still 50 kilos lower than what Brian Shaw squats. That's not raw. He's obviously wearing like triple ply knee sleeves and all of them. And I look at him like, is he wearing a single ply suit and calling those raw? Was kind of my first thought. And then I saw Jason Robson chime in and say, why is he wearing a squat suit? 5 inches above parallel squats wearing a single ply suit with triple ply knee sleeves is not a raw squat. The delusionalness of vegans, it blows my freaking mind. Now let's come over to the other point. There's some speculation. I think people are saying that Brian does have an injured hamstring and maybe that's the issue. Let's go over to the other point. His documented lifts, he can out squat Patrik. That's not even in question. Not even in question. And I think I ran the Wilks the other day and kind of looked at their body weight and said, okay, let's go to pound for pound. Let's go to Wilks so that it's relative strength. And Brian was still stronger. Even if we go to the relative strength formulas that are used in comps to compare weight classes, he beats him cross-class comparisons. And the thing that vegans and other people following this have to remember, Patrik isn't anybody in the sport. Okay, if he wasn't a vegan, no one would know who he is. No one would care. They wouldn't. Okay, he's not a top level strongman competitor. He's not like in the top ranks at the world level. He's not going to world level events. Not saying he isn't a strong guy, but the audacity to think that because you have some vegan hero that he has rights to call out somebody who is a world champion in a sport who himself cannot make it to the world level. He can't qualify. He can't get there. To have the audacity and the amount of privilege that these vegans seem to think they have, and the amount of entitlement that they think that their goofy vegan hero who can't compete at the world level in his sport. Not saying he's not strong, but he's not at that level. To say that he has the right to challenge and call out someone who is leaps and bounds stronger than him and that he expects him to answer it. What Brian basically said, and that's fine. I mean, he'd still beat him on the squat. That shouldn't even be in question. We're dealing with lifts like that are documented stuff. That shouldn't even be in question. If he wanted to do the strongman event, and Brian is basically saying now, no, I wanted to challenge him at any of the strongman events he claims that he's a world record holder at, not a random barbell lift. And even though the random barbell lift being listed as one in my sport, and I care about it, I'll take it that way. That's fine. He's got a point. That's not what they're competing at. He's claiming world records in yoke walks and stuff. That's what this lying vegan is claiming. Just standard. Vegans are generally liars. They lie about other people. I've been attacked and had lies told about me by vegans again recently. And the truth is, anyone who wants to check those things, come watch my actual channel. Instead of watching what other people say about me, come over to my channel and watch it. And I think you're going to find that what happens here and what I actually talk about and do is absolutely nothing like what other people pretend it is. Nothing like it. This is a strength channel. That's what we care about. Getting people strong. Getting you strong. But Patrik doesn't have any right to call him out. He does not even have a place at the table. He is not a world-class level strongman. And for vegans to have the audacity to think that he has a right to call Brian out or challenge him to anything, well, challenge him in competition. Like, if you're so good, then earn a place and go to the world level. Earn your spot. Because in all honesty, had this whole Game Changers not come out, if he wasn't a vegan, like if he was a normal person eating a normal diet who competes at the level he does, no one would care what he has to say. They wouldn't take his challenges seriously at all. And that's just the reality of it. It's because he's a vegan and because veganism sucks and veganism hurts your performance and it's harder to compete as a vegan, because that's the truth. It is. It's harder to be competitive in a strength sport as a vegan. It's way harder. It's more difficult. And that doesn't mean it can't be done, but it does handicap you. It does handicap you. And everyone out there who's a vegan doing it could get just as good of results on a less complex diet, probably be healthier, and in many cases actually be stronger if they abandoned the veganism and did all their training the way that they do right now, with their same genetic gifts and same training. They would be better if they gave it up. It's because he's a vegan that he's getting attention, and that's what vegans need to remember. He is not at that level. He isn't at the level to be able to call out Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, any of these guys. Okay, he has not earned a place at the table. Come back over to the point. If he wasn't a vegan, nobody would care. If we didn't just have this documentary with Game Changers, nobody would care. If Joe Rogan hadn't jumped into this whole vegan discussion discussing it, nobody would care. But the goofy militant vegans are so caught up in their ideology and their cult that it's, oh, well, he has a right and Brian has to do this. Brian has earned his place at the table. Whether you like the guy, whether you like his particular sport, whether you think strong man is a bunch of fat dudes and it's unhealthy, whatever your opinion is of it is largely irrelevant. Brian has earned his titles. He's earned his place at the table. Patrik has not even earned a right to challenge him because he hasn't earned the placings in competition to get to his level. Okay? This is literally the equivalent of a good high school basketball player calling out Michael Jordan. Or a low-level college, like let's say maybe at a D3 school basketball player decides to go vegan and then becomes a vegan hero, and then he challenges Michael Jordan. Do you guys understand that's the equivalent of what you're just doing? And then all the vegans jump up and say, well, you have to show if you don't accept his challenge. And it's like Michael Jordan would look at him and say, I don't know, man, why don't you go ahead and get a contract with an NBA team? If you're so good, then at least maybe get to the professional level. Okay. This is the equivalent. Let's put that into perspective that people will understand. This is what Patrik is challenging to. And then Patrik, when we watch the actual list of the lifts that he's wanting to challenge people at, I can see the footage myself. He can't even do the lifts that he's claiming. He can't do them. Not only is it not raw, let's assume it was. He's nowhere near depth. This guy cannot squat to appropriate depth. He's half squatting. He can't even squat the numbers that he's claiming. We can look at the footage and tell it's right there, objectively speaking. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.